He's done it again. Jake Paul has won another unanimous decision against another former UFC star. This time, though, it was the UFC icon Anderson Silva, which may have greatly increased the YouTuber turned boxer and promoter's credibility in the sport.
It's surreal. I don't think it'll hit me until like a couple weeks from now. I feel like I'm living in a movie. You know, he was the one that told me I could accomplish anything if I set my mind to it. You couldn't have written this in a story. It feels like a movie.
As usual, Paul's pre-fight talk and the promotional activities for the event were over the top, but this time was a little different. He was fighting Anderson Silva, one of the greatest strikers in UFC history.
I'm the young guy, and man, he's really, really good. So, man has more experience. He has the weight, he has the height, he has the reach. So really all the odds are stacked against me.
For Silva, many in the combat community felt the fight threatened the 47-year-old's legacy. The former UFC middleweight champ and longtime pound-for-pound #1 had other ideas.
Wow, I don't believe that affect nothing in my legacy, you know, in my journey in this combat sport. I believe in, I try to do my best to give something for the new generation, you know, and Jake and I put on two big generations together, you know, and people think, oh, this affect my legacy or affect the Jake legacy, but I don't believe that because it's about passion, it's about love, you know.
Silva started slow, not really landing until the second round. Through the middle rounds, Paul started to gain momentum and bloodied Silva's nose. It went the distance, but Paul sealed it in the 8th and final round with a right hand that sent Silva to the canvas.
The Jake is better than me today because I try to put in my game inside and my whole strategy, and that's I talk to my coach in the room. You know, I don't found my distance and I fail in my strategy, and Jake better than me today.
And just being in the ring with him, seeing his heart, you know, his courage, his bravery, that's the champion that I looked up to, and he's such an inspiration. And you know, I had to go in there and match his heart tonight, a heart that I saw through the TV screen when I was a kid. So it just surreal and doesn't make any sense, to be honest.
As for Paul's fighting future, the question is once again, who's next? As usual, there's no shortage of suitors looking to have that dance, but Paul seems to have two people in particular on his mind.
You know, Nate Diaz was here acting like a everyone wants that fight. He tried to fight people in the hallway. You know, Nate, stop fighting people for free. Let's do it in the ring, okay? I know you're a little slow, buddy, but it's okay. We can make that fight happen. And you too, Canelo. You're getting old. You looked weird against Triple G. I still want that fight as well.
Of the two names mentioned, Canelo Alvarez is the bigger money fight, but that's a terrible idea for Paul's career and long-term health. The undisputed super middleweight champion is one of the best boxers on the planet, and he'd destroy anyone with only 6 fights. The former UFC star Nate Diaz, on the other hand, is a much smarter option. He's recently retired from the UFC, he's not a professional boxer, and he has a rabid fan base. It's guaranteed money in the bank, and another likely win for Paul over another MMA legend. In championship results, Katie Taylor made her 7th defense of the undisputed lightweight title. The Irish superstar dismantled Karen Carbajal over 10 rounds at Wembley Stadium to set up a possible 2023 rematch with Amanda Serrano. Both fighters were landing, but Taylor's punches were crisper and more accurate throughout the fight. While she didn't get the finish, she never looked particularly threatened, and it looks like Serrano could be next. To the men's lightweight division, Vasiliy Lomachenko scored a tougher-than-expected unanimous decision victory over Jermaine Ortiz. The win sets him up for a potential showdown with Devin Haney for the belts he was scheduled to fight for earlier this year. For the first half of the fight, Ortiz pressured with everything he had, and the former pound-for-pound champ struggled to get past Ortiz's jab. He turned it around in the second half of the fight to take the victory, but it wasn't a showing that impressed Haney. I think it wasn't the best performance, said the champ in the ring after the fight. I hope we can get it on. To the welterweights, bad news for Conor Benn. The son of Nigel Benn revealed that he failed a second drug test in the lead-up to his catchweight bout with Chris Eubank Jr., son of Chris Eubank. The two men were set to continue their father's old British feud scheduled for earlier this month. That was until Benn returned a positive result for the banned substance clomiphene, a fertility drug that can boost testosterone levels in men by up to 50%. Trace amounts were found, the tiniest of traces. The only thing I can think of is contamination, explained Benn. I've not taken anything. I never have done, never would. Benn has voluntarily relinquished his boxing license, pending further private investigations. And in lighter news for the heavyweight division, Tyson Fury is set to take on the music world. The lineal and WBC champ is set to release his debut single, a cover of Neil Diamond's Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, we always, at every major sporting event this country ever puts on, Sweet Caroline comes on and it gets the crowd going, no matter what sport it is. We all love it. As British sports fans, we love Sweet Caroline, especially before a major event.
The Gypsy King bowed out of boxing for 2 years after suffering from depression and alcohol and drug addiction. He has now taken up the microphone to raise money and awareness for the men's mental health charity, Talk Club.
Boxing's been a massive platform for me to spread the word on mental health, and I've done it to the best of my ability. And I've been very vocal about it since the comeback, since the demise and the return. I've been very vocal about the mental health struggle, and it's been widely printed from highs and lows, ups and downs. So I've tried my utmost best to keep talking about it as much as I can and keep trying to smash the stigma, I suppose. And
it's no secret that the 34-year-old enjoys singing, as he often breaks into song following his victories in the ring. How good his singing is in comparison to his boxing is up to you.
I always wanted to be a singer, even though I'm quite at it. Like my wife keeps saying, fake it till you make it, so I'm the next Tom Jones, I believe.
Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.